Hello, my loves. There's some really high level messages coming through, so I'm not entirely sure where I'm going to post this yet, but what you see on the title will be what came through. Happy full wolf moon. Lots and lots of energies are opening up. What I'm seeing for those of you who have been here with me for a while is there is this full circle moment coming back to what we opened up early in 2025, February, March, April, May, when we were working with the forgiveness energies, the restoration of the sacred feminine energies, and we also worked with the Atlantis Lemurian timelines. And we had touched on the topic of Avalon at that time, but it wasn't quite marinated, ready to fully land. And in the last few days, quite a bit has opened connected to the restoration of the masculine energies, as well as a reopening back to those past Atlantis, Lemurian, Avalon, Egypt timelines. And again, there's quite a bit coming through with that. I did, after I posted yesterday on YouTube, I about a few hours later, the energy totally shifted from that frustrated energy to a very ramped up, heart opening energy. And I shared messages over on Patreon and YouTube connected to my own experience with a massive heart opening that started approximately 1 a.m. on January 1st and was about 8 to 9 hours of intense heart palpitations and lots of energy opening and shifting and restoring. So, if you want to know more about that and the messages that came through with that, you can check that video out. I may touch on more of it here today, and I may go deeper as well in another video. But again, I'm just really opening the space to let this energy land because we're reopening, I said, back to that. But also at the same time, it's not going back. It's been evolving the entire past 6, 7, 8 months as we've been evolved. So as it's reopening, the energy has evolved. So, something that I'm guided to share with you right now is this energy of the purification for true love, which in essence is what we all have been doing as we've been going through this process of transmuting, of unraveling, of dissolving, of resolving past patterns, past experiences, past lives. And all of this process has been really to support us in the purification for deeper states of internal union and self-love. Because as we hold those deeper states for ourselves, that is what allows us to hold those with others. So you have this divine counterpart, twin flame energy that has many purposes, but this initiation, some of the core purposes of this initiation were to inspire and remind you of your potential, as well as reopen you and your heart to remembering true love's energy, unraveling transactional love and conditional love and all the other types of love that we may have sought in validation throughout lifetimes on this planet, but now we're remembering and we're restoring back to that true love energy as we remember it and find it within ourselves, which is another main reason of this journey, of this initiation, is to restore all of the aspects of you, all of the parts of you, all of your gifts, right? Through the processes, through the pain, through the suffering. The reason it's so intense is because the love is stronger than the pain, and that is on purpose. Sometimes people feel like, why is this happening to me? This feels like torture. But the truth of the matter is, all of that pain and suffering was there. It was underneath all of the layers, and it was blocking out the love. But your connection to your counterpart, your twin flame, your initiation partner, your ascension partner, whatever you want to call it, it was to inspire you and remind you of the true love that not only resided within you, but that you deserve to experience in your life. And it was painful because that remembrance brought up that pain again, but the and all of the things that were in the way of you experiencing the love. And that's where the love and the pain gets so confused. And it's why we have so many songs on our planet about the pains of love. But love in and of itself is not painful. Love in and of itself is beautiful. And so the power of the love was why you were not able to fully shut down the connection or the emotion or the experience, because it was meant to inspire you to dissolve and resolve out all of the blocks to receiving that love fully, not to torture you, not to punish you. I know in moments it felt like that, for sure. Maybe for days, weeks, months, it felt like some form of torture. But ultimately, as you started to resolve the pain and find the solutions, you started to feel more and more of the love returning. And you started to feel and remember more and more of who you were. And you started to reach these points and these states where there was just no going back. You were committed to the deep states of self mastery and self love, or you are in that process. And that is such an important part of the gift. It was actually the love that was not letting you close out, because the love was so much stronger than the pain. All your previous experiences and lovers and relationships allowed the energy to shut down all the way and resolve, because it wasn't necessarily based in that pure, true, genuine, unconditional love. And not saying it didn't have elements of it, but this initiation was like a shock wave, right, to the heart, a shock wave to yourself, remembering your soul, remembering your divinity, remembering your potential, remembering what love is actually supposed to feel like, truly, unconditionally. And so, as we're going to these next levels of this deeper states of restoring the internal masculine energies, more and more, I can just feel the love pouring in new and deeper ways. And so, what I want to do is I'm just going to go into some messages here and ask to bring forth whatever is the most aligned messages. I'm going to pull for the masculine side and the feminine side. Is always listen to these both for yourself, internal energies, and then allow those to apply to your external energies in kind. And I picked up, let's see, what do we got first? It's a little wobbly. This feels like the masculine energies. Okay. We have stranger curiosity, and it's really standing out to me with the orange and the blue. And I spoke yesterday in that um, member video about the activation of the orange energies, the sacral chakra, more aspects and energy having space to come in as the rips and are repaired, as the reparations are being made, as the defense mechanisms are resolving, as the ancestral line protective mechanisms are dissolving, and more of the internal heart space is opening. It's making more space for the internal masculine energy to land. So I am guided to share one of the messages that's been coming through Back in the spring, I also saw this energy of the tree of life and how there's two trees woven together. Let's see if I can find the picture that helps represent this. So you have the two trees, and I was shown this is like the masculine and feminine. And just roll with me through the example, like at the separation, the two trees were ripped apart. And what I was shown last spring was not only were the masculine and feminine separated, but the masculine was essentially hacked in half. So the masculine energy, internally and externally, again, all of us having that masculine energy, had another split in the masculine side right around about the heart space. And more has been coming in with this since I reconnected with it yesterday. But it's like as we work with healing the internal masculine through allowing the parts of our system that were silenced or suppressed to reopen, to allow the defense mechanisms and the protective mechanisms to resolve, not to be weak, but to allow those vulnerabilities to come to light so that we can embody into those and rebuild our strengths in the heart side of the masculine energy. And it also is creating space for the internal masculine aspects to come home. And as many of you know, if you are resonating with the twin flame energy as being one unit, as being one soul, this aspect, as you're working with your internal restoration, as you're retrieving all of your aspects, what do you think is happening with the counterpart, the twin flame? It's like a soul retrieval, right? It's like a bringing back of the energies back together. It starts within, it starts within you, and then allows that energy to naturally magnetize back home in the physical, right? And even if you don't specifically resonate with the twin flame energy, either way, no matter what you resonate with, no matter what you believe in all truth, no matter what, you're in a soul retrieval for yourself. So even if you're uncertain and you're like, I don't know, is this my twin flame? Is it just a karmic energy? Is it just a counterpart? Is it just a soulmate? I don't know, but it initiated me. Well, here's where you really get down to getting more clarity. You focus on retrieving all of yourself and all of your aspects, and you allow the external reality to start to magnetize to you exactly what is aligned with you. And if that soul contract, that twin flame energy that is you, is available, right? As you're magnetizing all of your essence back home, what do you think is going to happen? Right? So this to me is feeling where that sacral energy, where that internal masculine creation energy is coming back home. And it's felt like a stranger. This is parts of us, all of us, feminine, masculine, no matter how you identify, this is parts of us. This is parts of humanity, parts of the masculine collective that have not had a place to land. But now it's opening because the protective mechanisms are resolving, and these pieces, these little homing pieces of soul, can come back home into the heart and into the body. We talk about embodying more and more of our higher self all of the time. Well, your internal masculine energy is part of your soul essence, it's part of your higher self. Your internal feminine essence is part of your soul essence, part of your higher self. Inner child, same thing. You see what I'm saying? And so, as you bring in the internal energies, as you retrieve all of your internal essences, this is the same thing as activating your true soul song and frequency, right? All of these are the chords that make up that beautiful harmonious frequency. And all the times you hear, well, If you get to a certain state, the counterpart, the twin flame, is magnetized back in. Well, when you're open to receiving your counterpart, your twin flame, in the pure true energy, and your system is genuinely open because it's safe and it's aligned. This isn't something to force. I feel like that's important because whatever lessons or experiences you're having along the way are part of the important process of you becoming the best version of you. So if you're not quite feeling there yet, perfect. You're just where you need to be in order to have all of the pieces come together in divine timing. Okay, my loves? This is why that divine timing is so key to trusting that. Because wherever you are in your process is exactly where you need to be. In any of those spots, like I said, that might feel uncertain, it's all okay. Because as you keep moving forward, as you keep retrieving yourself, your heart, your embodiment, you will get more clarity over time. Okay. And when you wonder why does it take so long? Well, we were scattered and shattered and fallen and scattered all over planets, dimensions, past lives, timelines for centuries. So it's taken a little bit to get it all back. But if you put it in perspective, the time it took to fragment us and how quickly we are finding ourselves. How quickly, as we gain clarity, our energy is being magnetized back home to our body, back home to our heart. We're moving very, very fast, my loves. Okay. So now I'm going to get a message from the feminine energy. Circle of eternal joy, timelessness, dance of life. And the minute that I'm looking at this picture, I'm feeling the Avalon energy, the Avalon priestesses coming through. Let me see. Okay, big time. Okay, so I want to see what wants to come through with this, and I'm definitely going to go deeper in a part two. It'll be available on Patreon and YouTube for my members. But if you're not interested in a membership, but you just want this the individual part two to this video, it'll be available on Patreon. Okay. So I'm going to get a bit more with this. I'm feeling like the tree of life in the Avalon priestess energy want to speak. Like I feel like the feminine is holding a piece of this puzzle. The piece where where I said the masculine is feeling hacked, where it felt, where they were split and then there was the hack. Okay, I am guided to share some of this here. I wasn't sure. I never know how it's going to open. So the feminine, it's like we have the 3D physical body, then we have the 4D, like emotional body, right? Like that frequency, the 4D is essentially the bridge between the physical body and the 5D frequency. In my understanding and experience, the Avalon frequency has been in that bandwidth, the upper echelon of the 4D, essentially like a gateway from the higher frequencies of 4D, that magical higher frequency into the 5D, like a portal, like a gateway. Now that's starting to feel like that's opening. The masculine energies, essentially where that hack was in the heart space, in that fourth chakra, was essentially feeling the missing link to the 4D bridge. And what did I just say about the emotions, right? The emotional bridge. And of course, the masculines still have a lot of their energy and aspects with them. But when you feel there's that disconnect in the heart space, or where they freeze off, or where the emotions go silent, or where you feel it within yourself, regardless of how you identify, this seems to be connected to the 4D higher echelon, the 4D bridge is needing to come in and click in between the third dimension and the fifth dimension. And what I sense is that the feminine energy is holding it. Remember how I said they split, but the masculine had the hack? And when the feminine opens her heart to receiving and restoring the own internal masculine energy, it starts to open that portal, open that bridge, one within your own heart energy for your own internal union. And I know many of you who have been doing the work with my session on the reparation of the inner masculine have been feeling the levels of this. I'll put that in the pinned comments if any of you want to work with it. But also, as her internal energies, as she opens her heart back to the masculine inside, that is the equivalent of restoring the heart space with the external masculine energy. Okay. And this, I feel, is what is in process of activating for those of you that are resonating with this. And it seemed to be kicked into gear on the first day of January of 2026. It could have been swirling around for some of you before that. I know there was some heart palpitation energies coming through the week before, but again, it really seems to be ramping up. So very beautiful. These are pretty, like I said, kind of deep messages. I'm going to leave this here. I'm going to go into this energy right here deeper. What is happening with the feminine? What is happening with the masculine? We're going to dive deeper into the Avalon energies and what is opening with that. I'm sensing something's wanting to open with the masculine side, Egyptian energies. So Atlantis, Lemuria, whatever wants to come through. I've also been having this sense that even though I'm familiar with these energies, I feel like more new is opening because the more stabilized we are, the more we've been able to hold without running, with letting ourselves open our hearts, even when we have those moments of feeling energetically unsafe. But we know that we're stable, we know that we're protected. Obviously, each of you discern for yourself, but as you allow yourself to open, it lets the old fears, the old suffering, the old pain transmute out of the heart space. And as it transmutes out of the heart space, you have that purification for true love. You have the new, true, open receptors to receiving all of your essence back home to your heart, and in turn, magnetizing the counterpart, twin flame, sacred union partner home next to you. Okay, beautiful. Again, I'm going to go into the part two. So you're going to want to subscribe if you're not subscribed yet. If you would like to receive the notification for when I post that, I may do it right away. I might give it a little bit of space. I really like to let these messages open and land very naturally, organically, so that they have the space to really bring forth the most potent messages. So if it's not right away, it'll be in the next few hours, and I will absolutely post it in the post tab here on YouTube. All right, my loves, hope you're enjoying this beautiful, powerful full wolf moon. All right, take care. Much love. Bye.